To take a look at the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus, and I'm doing these separately now. So that means that, you know, when sometimes I'll do a big reading with lots of different oracles, but I'm going to try to do them separately. Some people like the Nostradamus, some people don't. I find it awesome, very, very intriguing, right? And something else I wanted to show you. Look, I don't know if you guys know, but I have these towers. Look at that. It's got this. Mine's got like a rainbow in here, and they are aqua aura rose quartz towers. So I have these very, very inexpensively. You can see the colors coming in on it at the Rock and Gems website. So I also have some huge towers in there of fluorite and quartz as well, and I am getting a lot of towers coming in very soon. So all different sorts. So these two are mine. I actually have a pair of them there. I feel special. All right. And I'm also going to be getting some more of the crystal balls in as well. The reason why you want a ball is because, or a sphere, is because they're always going to be, like, you're always playing with them. They just feel comfortable, which means you're going to get the benefits of them, right? Okay, we're going to do Nostradamus today, the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. We are asking about what's going to happen in the next 7 days, okay, worldwide. I also have these sacred knowledge cards, so I'm going to start with these as well. Hang on a second. See if I can lift my thing up a little more. Right. What I actually want is to be able to turn that light off. So, hang on just a minute. Okay, should be better. We will get it. Okay. All right. As I said, you can only tell what it looks like when you actually get it started. Okay, maybe I can turn that one off. Okay, I'll just leave it on in the background. Whoops, a little bit. Okay, but first, before we do that, let's do this. Okay. Yikes. Okay. Look, sorry folks. I do everything on the spot, okay? That's why I am who I am, because I'm on the spot Becky. So therefore, there's hardly or little preparation. Okay, so all right, sacred knowledge. Just going to have a little look at the next 7 days. And I want some answers for us, because I know. There's so many things in the news. There's so many readers doing stuff, freaking people out. That is not my intention at all, nor will it ever be, right? We're always going to look at things rationally and with a positive attitude. So we are strong beyond measure. We're stepping into our power. We need to believe in magic. Also a new moon coming up. A fresh new way of living emerges, you see. Whatever's going to take place is going to be for our benefit. Holding the course. Hold fast, okay? Beneath the surface. See, beneath the surface lies great bounty. And take your first step to begin right now, okay? How does this look? All right. We're beginning to step into our power. We're uncovering our treasure. We're staying focused. We're transforming. And we're believing in magic occurring. Nothing spooky in here. Nothing to be afraid of. If for some reason people are talking about blackouts and this and that, you know how long they've been talking about blackouts? But if by chance that happens, just know that it's actually a good thing, okay? Just know that when we emerge from the darkness, if that happens, then so many things are going to be explained to us, and our lives are going to be very, very different in a good way. Now, let's do this. I will be able to read to you some of the messages here. Don't worry, I always do this. It doesn't mean that there's like a big bad negative spirit here. Usually I do it off camera, but here we are. Come on. All right. All right, everybody. All right, so I'm asking specifically for the next 7 days. What exactly is going to occur here? And let's see if I can tune in a little bit for you. Really feeling the intensity of the new earth taking its place here and replacing the old earth, you know. And it's funny, when I look back on videos, I'm like, oh, I should have said this and that. So I think it's important right now that we are just sort of remembering that we hold the power to change anything. Okay, your thoughts can change absolutely anything, right? There's one. Card 2. 3. This is for the next 7 days. Oh, I can feel something in my knees. 4. Doesn't mean this is going to be one a day. This is just how I'm doing this reading. Please consider joining the tarot. You've got until October to get it for half price. You can sit there and do it next year if you want to, but at least you've locked in the training and you can come back and do it. You'll have plenty to go on with the tarot course. Okay, it's beginners to advanced. It doesn't matter who you are. You can all learn to study in this way. And I'm doing this for you all because you asked for it. So the link will be below. Okay, there is no further discounts. It is half price. So already, but in October, when it goes up to the regular price, you will also be able to get discounts through being a patron. Okay, between 10 and 15% off. Okay, but for now, everyone gets 50% off. So you can look in my community tab and read more about it as well. But let's get going with this particular reading. All right, I want to start over here and highlight this one. Come on, let me pick it up. What is happening here? What is happening here? Judgment is happening here. Now, I am telling you right now that the military is doing something behind the scenes. But I asked specifically today, will the public see what's actually going on? And the message I got was, you will have no choice to see what's going on. Here is the judgment card. Who is the judgment for? There is something about the chickens as well. All right, let's get into this. Let's dive in, as they say. Judgment is happening. So this is going to be a shorter reading because I'm just doing this Nostradamus reading, but hold in there with me. Okay. All right, well, quatrain is this. This is a quatrain that was used to symbolize the French Revolution. I think we had this in our last reading, that this was coming up, right? The French Revolution energy is here. The freedom of the people. So the quatrain says, scythes will come to expose the land, and monumental urns will be opened. Scythes will come to expose the land. Monumental urns will be opened. This talks about change, renewal, judgment, self-assessment, strong opinions, taking things into account, an outcome, restoration, promotion, and decision. Oh my God. All right. For most readers, this will be seen as a call to rise, not to heaven, but to a new direction or purpose in life. Make sense? Rather like the Death card, which in most cases doesn't refer to a physical state but an inner one, the question of judgment will be seen differently by each individual. Right? Here it is. Some will see it as referring to a judgmental figure or organization that has power over them. Others will see it as their own inner judge, setting out the pros and cons of a situation and requiring them to decide for themselves on the appropriate action. In most readings, depending on the other cards, judgment suggests the need for change. Just how radical will depend on the nature of the issue and the surrounding circumstances. It can be a simple change of approach to the way you view a situation, or a far more earth-shattering call to change the direction of your entire life. The card often appears at a time when there is a crossroads in life, and that there needs to be an appropriate decision as to which path to take. Okay, so usually this would come up as the Last Judgment, and the angel would come up in the sequence in the major arcana. So usually the angel blowing a trumpet to awaken the sleeping dead to rise and follow him to heaven, the rapture. It's normally what it's talking about. But in this one, it's about a papal. It is about him wearing a crown. Through the cockerel, which stands above the crown, is a symbol for the calling of the dead on Judgment Day. Okay, remember when the crow, when the cock crows 3 times, wasn't it? Judas would betray Jesus, right? Is it anyway, so the risen sun is on one side of him, and within the curve of the crook is an image of the Virgin Mary. To one side we see an axe ready for him to wield. Why is he in such defense? His horse is being attacked by a lion. Yeah, in the backgrounds, his horse is lied down and this lion is on it. This imagery has more to do with the judgment aspect of the card. The Pope here isn't so much summoning people to rise from the dead as to come before him and be judged prior to ascending heavenwards or being banished to hell. So the interpretation of this is that it refers to a dangerous world in which wild beast roams, while at the center the Pope stands calm and strong in the attitude of protection and stern judgment. There is a calling. I'm sure that there have been many meetings here because of the connection with the dark energy that has been on this planet for eons. This is not about, what's just happening now, okay? This is the end of their reign and the beginning of their judgment on the earth. The people that have stolen children, that have kidnapped babies, that have been worshipping Satan and Baphomet and all of those things, that have been in Hollywood, that have been on elitist lists, that have been in the black book, that have been on the flight list, that have been connected to Maxwell and been connected to Epstein and been connected to all of these different islands and connected to different places across the globe and different places under the world. Under the earth, there's a whole other world. It looks very much like the top of the earth here. It's a completely functional. It's all of this has been happening for a very long time. Okay? People don't want to believe it. I get it. Right? People don't want to believe many things that they don't understand. That's fine. You're going to see it anyway. Okay? If you have eyes to see and ears to listen, hold on to your hats. Because this is about to become very real for the world. And the judgment is not about the people who are good people being judged once again, because that's what we've had our whole life. We've been born into judgment. We've been born into anger and opposition. We've been born into viruses. We've been born into prejudices. We've been born into bullying and hate and rage and abuse. We've had this because our parents had this and their parents before them. And people react very, very quickly rather than using their senses that they were born with. Those things are drummed out of you in school. Those things are drummed out of you when you're trying to defend yourself against an adult as a child. Those things are drummed out of you when you have no other choice but to toughen up, or your life is going to get even worse hell. So the people that are still trying to help humanity, even when they're spit in the face by their brothers and sisters, and still smiling and still trying to help you, they win. Okay? The underdogs win. As I said in my last video, the eagle has landed, and I feel we're in for one hell of a show. And these people, man, I know there's so much corruption in the courts as well, and they make all these wrong decisions. They let people go. It's just gone too far. And certain people have dug their own holes here that I feel they're just not going to. This is within a week, remember. This is coming. Okay? And look, we have the 6 of, worlds or spheres? So what is this person? Everyone's reading something here to this person. So let's see what this is. Oh, that's a good spot for it. Okay. Look, I am very careful because I don't want to lose my position on YouTube after all of these years. And I always can't say exactly what I would like to say. And there's no point saying, nasty things or being angry about anything. That doesn't help anybody either. But the level of corruption is so deep that you don't even notice it because it becomes a part of your life. It's been a way of life. All the programs on TV, the lies, the television, all that sort of stuff, right? We all know that stuff. Here we have the 6 of spheres, okay? See? This is what, oh my God, this is what this says here. Great compassion will not be long delayed. Those who give will be forced to take. I'm going to read it again. It's from quatrain 669. Great compassion will not be long delayed. Those who give will be forced to take. So here, one of the many patriarchal figures of the Lost Book distributes wisdom by pointing to passages from 2 great books. There is no indication as to the exact nature of what he offers, but it's intriguing to speculate whether one might be Nostradamus's prophecies, while the other, though an obvious choice might be the Bible, could be a book of philosophy. Intriguingly, those receiving the wisdom are represented on one hand as nuns, right? And on the other hand as secular figures. This exactly presents the figure of authority who directs us to seek guidance from more than one source. Okay? So this has been about giving gifts to those less well off than ourselves. Because of this judgment, are we going to receive? I think so. Perhaps you've had a windfall, you decide to share it, either with deserving friends or a charity of your choice. Alternatively, you may be in the process of deciding who shall benefit from your wisdom, or who might succeed you in a role of authority, or in a broader sense, who is going to succeed in the roles of authority around the globe now that we're going to get rid of the evil. It always isn't about money that's the issue here. This is sometimes seen as the Robin Hood card, in which the assets acquired may not always have come by honestly, but where there is a desire to pass on the bounty. That is unbelievable. So this talks about sudden events. This talks about the present moment. This talks about gifts. This talks about philanthropy, kindness, and charity, and current prosperity. Those who will give will be forced to take. Judgment. The overturning. Do you remember that is this month's message? Do I have to be exact? I don't think anyone can be exact because you are careful. So for me as a reader, I'm careful about the words that I use because I don't want to set any limitations. The angels always speak about, don't limit anybody. We can't limit you. So don't you limit people. And so that comes down to exactness of things, right? So it's hard to be exact with the tarot because this is how things stand at the moment. But I am telling you, I am receiving the same message over and over. And I know when that happens, it's accurate, completely accurate. All right, so something is changing here. Are we going to see it? I think we're going to. I don't think this is, I know a lot has been done behind the scenes. I actually think we're going to see this, and I think we all need it. I think we all need to see this, right? So this talks about sudden events in the present moment that have to do with judgment, okay? Have to do with current prosperity, have to do with charity, kindness, the present moment. Someone having to take in order to give, right? All right, let's keep going. 7 days. Oh my God. And here we go into this. This came up before last week, right? I wanted to know, and here it is. Now the sun is doing stuff. Some people are saying there's going to be like huge solar flares that knock out the grid. I haven't thought about it enough to tune into it enough. Okay, because I try not to think about, oh, there's going to be all this there, disaster, and there. We've had enough of it, right? So let's have a look at the Ace of Suns again, because this is unbelievable. All right, copper. Copper is associated with Venus. Venus and the sun going together. So the sun and the eagle, oh my God. The eagle has landed. The sun and the eagle will minister to the victor. The vanquished are allayed by futile assurances. This is quatrain 138. The sun and the eagle will minister to the victor. The vanquished are allied or allayed, A-L-L-A-Y-E-D, by futile assurances. This is a great card of beginnings. After the judgment, after, the event, here's the card of the beginning. This is the card of the people. This is the card of creation, of God in all things. Okay? It suggests going forward, in which you almost cannot fail in whatever you're attempting. It represents birth, both of an idea and an actual child. It encourages you to take action, to move forward with confidence. Okay? Birth, beginning, creativity, supremacy, invention and enterprises. This is an illuminating card, illuminating the pathway for us. Wow. All right, let's keep going. Next, what the heck is this? The three of spheres. Okay, this is interesting as well. I'm going to take note of these geometric designs in here also. 3 of spheres. All right, wait a minute. Oh my God. All right. Are you ready for the meaning of this? Quatrain 1119. The newcomers from an undefended place will dwell in a previously uninhabited land. What did he mean by this? The newcomers from an undefended place will dwell in a previously uninhabited land. Here we see an angel blessing the papal figure and imbuing him not only with holiness but also with power and grace. This is a perfect illustration of the way the Pope is blessed at the start of his period of office in the papacy, from which point he is expected to perform his task as the earthly representative of a heavenly power. That not every Pope succeeded in doing this fueled the struggles of the Reformation. Here, the image suggests the receipt of great spiritual strength and a deepening of inner awareness, which applies to every individual just as to the holder of the keys of St. Peter. So this is a card of generous employment. You may be hired to do all kinds of work and find that you gain admiration for the way in which you achieve your aims. You work well with others and your reputation grows. Right? The spiritual aspect of this card suggests a deepening of inner awareness or coming into greater alignment with the spiritual powers that support you. But in all such matters, there is a shadow side. So, the card is not reversed though. So, however, if you apply yourself honestly to your work, you will almost certainly achieve greatness. So this is talking about power, importance, distinction, celebrity, success beginning to develop. Are we going to see celebrities as part of this judgment? Are you going to be known for the work that you're doing? Are we all going to be known for keeping the faith when everybody else fell apart, right? In all of this. Are we keeping the faith, you know? Or are you freaking out every now and then when your body's changing and stuff's going on? Well, I know that can be really easy to do. When we start feeling things and we start getting worried because everyone else is worried, we can give right into it, right? We don't want to do that anymore. So, interesting. This is about power and an angel blessing. Okay. Oh God. Look at this. You know? It looks like a monk or a papa, but But he's on, oh no, he's not, the head of a royalty on top of, what the heck is that, like a moose or something? Is it supposed to be a lion? I don't know. Hang on. All right, let's take a look at this. This is number 5. 5 here of suns. Oops. 5 of suns. Take a look at that, will you? Oh my God, what the hell is this? I make myself laugh sometimes. Okay, 5 of suns. Oh my God. Oh boy. Now, we talked about Venus getting a blast from the sun recently. This inspired a whole lot of events. Now, the quatrain is 553. The laws of Sun and Venus contend with each other over who will claim the spirit of prophecy. The Sun and Venus are supposed to be represented here. There's always been an element of struggle about this card, and the contest for wealth and power may underlie it. Though on the surface this is a card of wealth and prosperity, seems to point to the dangers of too much access or living life too much to the full. Nostradamus would have been aware of this in his own time, living as he did on the edge of society and watching favourites fall out of favour. Indeed, many of the prophecies he made were actually warning the rulers of his age of evil times to come. Here, the Pope seems as though he is about to defeat to the strange crowned beast that stands at his feet, suggesting that the age-old struggle between church and state, spiritual and secular power could find relief. So, although this card is generally well aspected, there is an inherent danger that overconfidence could lead to a breakdown in communication and a lesser degree of success. So since the main thrust of the card's meaning is wealth, abundance in every aspect of life, this may not be surprising. Too often when everything is handed to us on a silver platter, we tend to forget that riches carry their own shadow aspect. Wealth is often associated with power, which it may well be on the surface. But there is often a multitude of weaknesses hiding beneath, which is going to be exposed. Success, abundance, overweening pride, rivalry, and luxury. So what is this suggesting that the king is... I don't even know what the heck that animal is. Looks like a lion because it just seems like a lion. So the way the tail is as well. But then you've got these weird flaps here like a moose. So he's part beast. It's not even real. But it shows here that the overconfidence of the elites is going to be their downfall. They're just so confident in winning when they're losing. Okay? And then we have this, the 9 of moons, which usually is like the 9 of cups. Let's take a look. So that means we're going to be happy. Oh, God. Nine of moons. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so this is from the quatrain 1089. Joy to those humans who renew the promise, health, fertility, joy, and a time of honey. Here the Pope has come home, turned away from the uncertain path of the previous card. Seated now in his great chair, he dispenses wisdom from the cup, or cornucopia of truth, and the book of knowledge gathered on his journey. He's flanked by the Virgin Mary and Ecclesia, the symbolic personification of the church. Between these two figures representing heavenly and earthly power. The papal figure sits. A small dragon paws at his knee, representing the human doubt in the face of spiritual responsibility. So here we find a successful outcome, a renewal of energy, okay? And the gift of problem solving. Yet this is tempered by a delight in pleasure of winning for its own sake that can unbalance us if we're not careful. Material success may be offered, but you may find it isolates you. So this brings victory, success, advantage, triumph, problem solved, and delighting in pleasure. Do we have one card that's like extremely negative over the next week? It just seems we're going to be very happy with the results. Very happy with the win. Okay. October, November, obviously December as well is what I'm waiting to see. Okay, so even more will be revealed, but wow, we are in for it. Okay, final message with the Nostradamus cards for the next 7 days. What is this? Why are these animals? See, he's going after this, but he's part beast. He's not standing behind here. He is it. Not as they seem. Are these dogs or are they supposed to be bears? Are they dragons because of their feet? Look at their feet. This looks like an eagle feet. This is the devil card. I had that covered up. I couldn't see it. The devil card. Oh, wait a minute. Or the Antichrist. Oh my God, this came up as well. Oh. Okay. This prophetic reference was about the rise to power of Adolf Hitler. And we all know what happened to Hitler, don't we? The eagle landed. And, well, some say that he committed suicide and all that stuff. Some say that was a double. Probably. But he was stopped nonetheless. And I'm sure he felt like he had the power of the world in his hands. Like nothing was going to happen to him. Right? The rise to power of Adolf Hitler. So, I'm just going to talk about the little tiny bit at the bottom of this book here where it says, the essential meaning hasn't changed. In whatever form that he comes, the devil brings connotations of self-aggrandizement, or in terms of magic as the black magician, whose aim is only to raise power for himself. Who does this sound like? In this context, the association of this card with a quatrain that has long been seen to prophesy the rise of Hitler seemed inevitable. So the central meaning of this card revolves around deceit, lies, and trickery, all aspects of devilish influence. This always represents either the reader or the energy of the reading. Someone who is self-serving and will do anything to get their way, to rise to the top of the heap, to be important. It is the childhood fantasy of self-aggrandizement. Someone that always wanted to be special. Do you know that most serial killers, okay, there has been something that they have felt that they needed to prove their power. So whether they were chastised by their mother or father, or didn't have much familiar support, or they were like Ted Bundy. He thought that he thought that he had a sister, but it was actually his mother, right? So he thought his grandmother was his mother. Can you imagine how that would screw you up when you get older? But that's not the reason why he did what he did. Anyway, that's a longer story. But people who have these narcissistic tendencies and ideas of being all supreme has come through many, many, many different cultures, where someone, it might start out to be good, but it ends up being all about the praise of the person controlling the whole thing, right? And when someone doesn't get that, even when they're in a position of power and they're not getting the praise, it takes a very strong individual to continue anyway. The other individuals that aren't seeing what they want to see, okay, what happens to them is they become very angry and they show this anger to the public. They raise their fists in the air. They speak angrily to whoever questions them. They feel under pressure like never before. And, you know, what we see now is, in the United States especially, the current president, I'm just going to say it, is always angry at us. He's always grumpy. You can't get the correct answer out of him. He's stumbling his words and saying really weird things, and people are concerned, but no one's really doing anything about it. Now, he is the typical person who's worked for 50 whatever years in politics and never got to the top. He became vice president. That's as close as he got. And, you know, he made it. Okay, congratulations, buddy. There you are. You've got your position. You've got your, you know, people talking to you in your earpiece. You've got notes to where you're going to sit, for God's sake. You're shaking hands with thin air. What in the world is this? This is a person whose public scrutiny, like you imagine, right, being scrutinized like he's scrutinized, is getting to him, and he's getting angry about it. Like, so when it's almost like if someone was picking on you all of the time, how would you react to it? If you had ideas of grandeur, would you get angry that they don't share those thoughts? Or would you just walk away? Most of us would just go, you know what, it's not worth my time and effort. I'm just going to do something else. But he completely digs even a bigger grave. This is not the only person that I'm talking about that does this. I was appalled with Australia's Prime Minister. Just, oh well, I'm going to be in Hawaii while Australia's on fire. Now that's changed. Okay, I'm not sure about this new person, but it's changed hands. Boris Johnson from the UK. Where's he? Oh, he left, didn't he? That's right. So there's some bird. Nobody knows. I don't even know who this bird is, and she's turned up, you know. There she is. There's 14 or something different people that are suddenly gone that were in the limelight around the globe. Nobody thinks anything's happening? Sorry, but when you have someone who won't admit or take any responsibility, but instead blames everybody else, when you have someone who can't give you a straight answer, when you have someone who tells you that their work is historic and, you know, there's just unprecedented numbers when we know the opposite is true, when they're lying bold-faced to your face about how they care about certain communities, but then turn them away when they show up on the doorstep, you are dealing with a narcissistic, evil regime. Absolutely. That can't be told anything, and also control the media, just like the rise to power of Adolf Hitler. Okay? This is what we are dealing with. This is evil. This person has no plans to help restore us. They only want to line their own pockets, and I'm saying it. They only care about their own money and paying people off and washing their dirty laundry over in UKR. Right? Billions of dollars, and the United States suffers. That is not right, no matter who was sitting up there doing it. Say what you want about the other guy, but he didn't even take a paycheck to do what he was doing to try to help us. 1.3% inflation against 8.3%. You know? Look, it's everywhere though. Every country has its Hitler. Every country has its secrets. Everyone who is supposedly, oh, they would never do that, real sweet and innocent people are doing exactly the opposite. And us, the people of the world, who are trying to put food on the table and are trying to remain calm, go to work, do what we're told, continue to help, continue to help, continue to help, continue to help, who don't really want anything other than to help people to help themselves. What happens to us? We're squashed. We're thrown to the wayside. We're the strange ones. But it's not going to be for too much longer. This evil is done on this planet. And I'm talking about anyone, red or blue or black or yellow or green or purple or brown or from outer space or wherever you are. If you have done damage purposely and, you know, raped and killed people and laundered money and took from people and stole and made people suffer. You know, I'm not talking about someone who, you know, wasn't doing anything intentionally or didn't mean to hurt someone or something like that, right? We know what we're talking about here. Stealing from the people. Stealing and creating a place where everybody will fight with each other instead of unifying. Because that's what they wanted you to do. Let you all take care of yourselves. Right. This is going down. This is being judged. This is the end of their games. And I'm telling you, and the world needs to see it, okay? I have to do one more card. I'm sorry. Okay. And I'm sorry if I'm offending people or people are just not ready to hear it or whatever. I can't stop anymore. I can't just sit there and go, oh, that's okay. Oh, wow. Go, old fella. Great. You know, you're ruining the country. Fantastic. I can't do it. My ancestors are, you know, this ground is full of their blood. I can't. Sorry. Even in Australia, I can't sit back. You know, I just can't anymore. And I guess they've known it all this time. And that's why all these years later, I'm still just trying, you know. But here we go. All right, so tell us about this devil. What is happening to the devil? And I know it represents a global reality, okay? Oh, this is what happens. Oh, shit. I am not surprised. I am not surprised. I've seen this 1,000 times now. Oh, my God. But to come out on camera, you all need to see it. You all need to see it. Here is the burning tower. We are going to be shocked. Even those people who think we know everything, we're going to be shocked. It comes right after the Antichrist. Right after. So this is called the burning tower. And the prophetic reference was for the attack on the Twin Towers in New York. Told you New York had, it's something to do, okay. On September 11, 2001, the hubris of capitalism brought into contact with its own transience. The burning tower, also known as House of God or the lightning struck tower, the hospital or the thunderbolt, is one of the oldest and most consistently reproduced images. It comes as no surprise that it is one of the most immediately recognizable images in the Lost Book. The origins of the image can be traced to the Middle Ages, where there are numerous references to towers broken down by God's lightning, sometimes followed by scenes depicting the expulsion of human beings from a paradisal realm. It also reflects the fascination of the medieval world with the story of the Tower of Babel, which became a symbol of the desire of powerful rulers to control more of the world around them, and reminded them of the results of pride and hubris. This has led to the interpretation of the card as having a destructive and negative meaning, very much in line with Nostradamus' bleak projection. However, there is a positive implication. The breaking down of old and outworn structures may seem terrifying, but can give way to restoration and restructuring. We need it. Doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. Please don't take offense. We just need to get rid of the evil. Don't you agree? Don't you agree that we need to get rid of darkness that is controlling the planet once and for all? The light has already won the bigger battle. Now, here comes the smaller ones. And really, you know, JB and all of his friends and Australia's thing and UK's thing and everybody's thing, you know, are really small potatoes, okay, compared to what they've already dealt with. So, all right, so it is important that we don't always assume the worst, okay, but rather seek beyond the immediate darker events to a place where calmer seas await us. So, oh my God. Many of the earliest references to this card refer to the tower as belonging to the devil, so that the breaking of the tower is actually the destruction of evil, see, rather than good, as it is often interpreted in more recent decks. Seen from this viewpoint, the divinatory meaning can be more positive, because what we're doing is destroying anything that's trying to destroy us under the disguise of helping us. Okay? So, seen from this viewpoint, okay, sometimes we must face painful and seemingly destructive events in order for the path to be cleared and old, no longer required aspects of our lives broken down in order to allow fresh growth. The fire that erupts from within the tower may also be seen as the positive forces of energy or creativity breaking out of the old carapace of stale and outworn ideas, objects, or structures, and being cleansed by fire. The other ancient title for this card, the hospital, makes this even clearer. A hospital can indeed be seen as a fearful place, yet it's also a place where healing results, sometimes after painful procedures. So, the immediate response in this reading may well be one of despair, like, but it is important to remember that change isn't always a bad thing, and that the lightning strike may represent a flash of insight or inspiration, which can lead to a reassessment of your life path, beliefs, or intentions, as well as painful readjustment or something that requires confrontation before peace can result. So, it can also suggest a sense of just atonement. None of these are necessarily easy, but if we allow the fire to consume the tower in which we have established ourselves, the outcome can be positive and restoring. This is about sudden and shocking change, clearing the path. See, sudden again. The breaking down of old structures, cleansing energy, reassessment, catharsis, and hubris. From the quatrain 1049, in the garden of the world near the new city, on the road of the hollow mountains. And it goes on about the Twin Towers, right? This is going down, folks. Whether we believe in this or not, if we even saw it from a higher perspective of good versus evil, let's just say, wouldn't you want your family safe? Wouldn't you want the abuse to stop? Wouldn't you want someone to be held accountable once and for all. Because you know how everybody always says, oh, they get away with it. Oh, nothing will ever happen. Oh, you know, they've done this and nothing's going to occur. And oh, they just get away with it. Wouldn't we want people to be held accountable no matter who they are? Don't we want that for ourselves so that we know that justice is done? So we know that there are consequences, because there haven't been any consequences for people. And then what we end up with is sandheads, or people that, oh yeah, we know, I'm just going to worry about this tiny little aspect of life and not actually contributing to anything worthwhile, only that my rights are heard. Well, you know what? There's bigger things in this world than your rights. You know, like, I'm not talking about bigger rights like, you know, the right to vote, or the right to get married, or, you know, the right to, I don't know, have your voice heard, or freedom of speech, right? I'm not talking about those things, but these little things like pronouns and stuff like that, that just keeps people just distracted and confused. We don't know what to say to anyone anymore because it might be assumed one way or 1,000 other ways. And that is not what we should be preoccupied with. You know, God bless you and your pronouns. Now off you go. Like, just go live your life. But here's bigger things going on around the globe. Okay, lies being told to us about our health, right? Money being taken. People making money on the jabs. People knowing that it was coming and making money on the jabs, right? And just on and on and on, corrupt. And then sitting there telling the whole world, oh, well, you know, I don't have to tell you who's going to actually get any money from this or has been getting money from this. Like hell, you don't have to tell us. You know? Ugh. On a spiritual pathway, we have always got to maintain, you know, being positive, right? We've got to be positive at all costs, doing our best to be positive and envision a future for ourselves. This is part of it. Sorry to say, but any one of you who has envisioned for yourself a happy, bright, loving partnership with someone of the same sex or someone of the opposite sex, or someone who wants to be the opposite sex in a relationship with you, or whatever. Anyone who's dreamed of owning their own home and having a space somewhere and being able to travel freely, anyone who's dreamed of those things, right, is thinking of positive things and wants positive things to occur to ensure that this will happen, right? So basically, anyone who's ever had a dream about anything in their life has been focused on a positive forecast for themselves. Therefore, there must be a positive forecast for the world, right? So, anyone who wants that, anyone who wants to be free and safe and have their rights and have their say and dream their dreams in a, what they say, in a pursuit of happiness, has a vision of a positive future, which does not include these evil agitators on the planet, like Hitler, who had his place in restoration and bringing people together. Oh, we don't want that to happen again, do we? And here it happens again, and everyone says, oh God, what are you doing? Do what they say. Do what they say. You'll be fine. Just stop and do as you're told. Even though they knew deep down it was wrong, they just wanted it to be over, so they thought that they would comply. Do you know that's exactly what the Jewish people said? Well, we just wanted it to be over, so they came out with a star. You know, we had to wear this star on our thing, you know, and we just wanted it to be finished, so we just did what we were told. We believed them. We believed we'd be okay. You know, we believed them. They just wanted to, you know, just be quiet now and just do as you're told, and we won't be getting any trouble. Let's just comply. And look how that turned out. Same thing. You know, it's not the same thing. It's the same principle. I should rephrase that. Of someone wanting to be in control of everybody's beliefs and everything and rule the world. We have others here that want to rule the world and keep us enslaved. Worse than you can ever imagine. Worse than you even can imagine possible. That's what they wanted. And the positive of this planet, the ones that hoped and dreamed and just wanted this pursuit of happiness without even realizing it, have been the ones that turned the tide and allowed the light to finally vanquish the darkness. And we are going to witness it in the flesh. We are going to see the results of what will happen when you try to destroy not only the country but the world with your greed and your ignorance and listening to whoever your puppet master is, because each one of them have got them around the globe. And I am sick of being quiet and being careful. I am sick of trying to show people. I'm not trying to wake anybody up anymore. This is happening. It's done. And you are going to need support if you have never believed in it, because when you see some of the things, you know, and people can say, well, it hasn't affected you, Becky. Bullshit. Read my About Me and you'll see how it's affected me personally. How they've tried to take me out through my parents. You know, through places I should never have been able to get out of if I wasn't protected in some way. But it was there to show me, hey, people who you believe to be good, who you think are just wonderful because they're celebrities and they're just awesome. Look what they do for charities and stuff. There's a reason, you know, there's a reason I'm squashed so badly. I'm starting to go up there now. Why? Because I have to do about 20 videos a day for anyone to recognize who I am after all these years. Are you kidding me? You know, if I was doing something that was just, I don't know, just makeup or some ridiculousness like that doesn't mean anything, whoa, off you go to the top. This means so much to me because I'm for the underdog, okay? I just want us to win. I just want us to win once and for all. We shouldn't be struggling. None of us. My heart goes out to everyone. The children that are going to start coming forward, people are starting to talk already. Oh my God. You can't ignore these people. You can tell when someone's lying. Why? Because they can't look at you. They blink a lot. Unless they're a nervous person anyway, which you would get a base sort of thing. Or unless they've got a big spotlight right in their face. Like seriously, when that happens to me, I don't even realize I'm blinking sometimes when I've got my spotlight in my face. However, you can tell when someone they don't stand behind what they're saying because it trails off or it makes no sense, or, you know, the person starts to stutter, or the person starts to struggle, or, you know, they say, I didn't say that, and you go back and yes, they did the day before, you know, like it's just, they don't remember their own lies, or they don't remember what they've been told in that earpiece, or even what was on that piece of paper, right? Especially when they're getting older and everything's crumbling around them and the mistakes that have been made. Now, this is not just talking, again, I've got to say it again, because everyone's like, oh, she just hates Democrats. No, that's not what it is. It's dark. Anyone dark. Plenty of Republicans are exactly the same, okay? Dark. Been involved in stuff you don't even want to know about, but you're going to find out about it. This has been going on for a very long time. This is nothing new. It's just that it's more brazen now than ever before. Right? And it's just also that they've got help with the media, etc., who are now starting to actually see the light a little bit more too, because they're in trouble. So, here it goes. You can see it for yourself. This was all shuffled on camera and done. That we are very victorious here, but these people are going to be very judged. This is coming down, everybody. It's coming down. Wow, look at the signs, as we always get told. This is 1 week. So what will we see? What would they try to stop us from seeing? I don't know. It's going to be kind of interesting. As I said to you, October, November, December are really interesting months as well. I wanted to say, if for some reason my channel goes down, find me on Rumble, Divine Miracles, BDevine. Find me on TikTok. Find me on, well, probably Facebook will go if Instagram and Facebook and YouTube are all connected. So if one goes, they probably all kick me out. But I feel like I'm protected. So find me on another place. Just keep on finding me, okay? And if we all get into darkness, don't worry. If something like that does happen, just relax, okay? Enjoy the time away from social media and all the break that you need in the world, right? No one's going to have to worry. Just make sure you got, you know, some extra water, beans and rice or whatever you need to do, right? Just in case. May not have to happen that way. But if it does, just know that when we come out the other side of it, so much is going to be different. We're going to be so happy, okay? Anyway, gotta go. Sending you lots of love. Always. I'm on everybody's side, okay? I want us all to win as the human race. Many, many blessings, and bye for now.